Sing me a song of a lass that is gone.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylee and every single week I bring out a different Outlander related video to help us all get through Droughtlander. Now if you don't know what Outlander is, then this video will probably not make any sense to you, but if you are interested in something to watch or read, Outlander is one of the most fantastic book series written by the amazing Diana Gabaldon that was then turned into a television series. If you haven't heard of it or read it or seen it, I highly recommend you go and find it on your streaming services or a bookstore near you. It is something that will just absolutely captivate you and you will fall in love, I have no doubt. But for those of us that are here for our weekly Droughtlander fix, today's video is something a little bit different. I actually want to tell a story about one of my most prized Outlander possessions. So my most prized Outlander possession is actually this book. Now you might be thinking to yourself, it's just the first book and it's not even an original title. But this book has most certainly traveled the world. Now, look, it's not just any old Outlander book, and especially to me this this is memories, absolute memories. In fact, the very first day we got this book, my husband and I were in New York City. Now, before COVID and before the world got turned upside down with COVID, my husband and I would travel internationally to go on holidays at least probably twice a year minimum. We would just work our guts out throughout the year and then take off. Well, one particular holiday, we were in New York City and Sam Heughan was there doing a barber shoot. Now, Sam used to be, I don't know if he still is actually, he was one of the reps for Barber. So we were there and my friend from Australia messaged us and said, Sam Heughan is going to Barber, and I can't remember what part of New York it was in, but get there. He's doing meet and greets for the first, I think it was 5 people that show up in the line. Our entire day changed. So I woke up at 4 a.m. and we headed towards, I can't remember where it was exactly in New York, but we went to this barber store and I stood there for 7 hours. I was number 6 in the line to meet Sam Heughan, so I unfortunately missed out. But Sam Heughan did come out and meet and greet, a whole bunch of people, which was absolutely fantastic. During the time that I was standing there waiting though, I met some of the most amazing, lovely ladies, and long story short, my husband nicked off and went sort of looking around. He didn't want to stand there in the summer sun with me, which I couldn't blame him at all. But he then reappeared with this book and he said, why don't you ask to get it signed? Which is exactly what happened. So when I became starstruck though, as Sam was walking past signing things and, saying hello and doing photos with other people, I just stood there. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I was like, great, I've totally missed my opportunity. I was just lucky enough that Shan, my husband, had appeared with the book and actually asked Sam to sign it for me because I couldn't do it. So the very first signature we ever got in this book was Sam Heughan. And since that point, this book has traveled the world with us on the off chance that we may actually see another Outlander actor or character or inspiration that could additionally sign. So since then, I have literally taken this book everywhere with me. We then went to Adelaide here in Australia, which was Supernova, I believe, to get Graham McTavish to sign the book. I mean, like I said, this book, it looks old and tatty on the inside now, but it's full of autographs and I absolutely love it. So we have Sam and Graham on that one. Diana Gabaldon we met in Chicago or somewhere in America. I think it was Chicago. Katrina Balfe has signed it. One of them, but that's what I mean. Things like this, it's to other people, they'd be like, it's a book with some autographs in it, who cares? But to an Outlander fan, this is absolute gold. So some of the autographs that we now have obtained over the years, because mind you, I think that was like 2000 and I want to say 18 maybe? 17, 18. So we have on the front page Sam and Graham McTavish, who we met in Adelaide here in Australia for Supernova. Diana Gabaldon we met at a convention. I think it was either Chicago or New Orleans. Not New Orleans. Oh, New Orleans. Maybe it was New Orleans actually. I'm not sure. It was one of those conventions. Katrina Balfe, we were lucky enough to meet in Las Vegas. Now, the problem I have on the next page is we met a lot of different Outlander stars at some conventions. And I'm not going to lie, some of their autographs are really hard to read. So I know Stephen Walters is this one. He was amazing, I might add. We were at the Las Vegas convention and the man is an absolute legend. He was singing and telling jokes and he was just so down to earth, just absolutely lovely. We also met Lottie, who is Gayless Duncan. Who else is on here? See, this is what I mean. It's hard to read. Stephen Cree, I might add, was this one here. And he is just now, Aussie slang is an absolute pisser. I have not laughed so hard in my entire life. But yeah, so like I said, some of them are really hard to read. This one is Richard Rankin, and the most recent one that we were able to get was David Berry in Sydney, Australia, here in my little home country, who plays Lord John Grey. Now, like I said, this book is tattered and old and scruffy, but it's my most prized Outlander possession. And it's not even because of the fact that, you know, people have signed it who I love and look up to and idolize and follow their work history and that sort of thing. But it's because of, like, my husband walked miles and miles and miles while I stood in the sun to get me this book and surprise me with it on the off chance that it would get signed. So to me, like, it's not just about the Outlander, it actually brings sentimental value as well. Like, my husband, you know, he's so cute, by the way, he's adorable. But, you know, the thought of this, and it's the fact that, like, Outlander and a symbolic connection, it's just all together. So this is my most prized Outlander possession. So you might be thinking to yourself, what a random video this is and what significance is it at all? But it was mainly because that book sits right here in every single one of my chatty style YouTube videos where I sit down and I talk to the camera. And somebody actually spotted it in the background and was like, oh, you have Outlander, do you need the rest of the books? And they sent me a lovely message asking if I had the rest of the series on paperback. So I just wanted to explain why that particular copy of Outlander is sitting there in every single one of my talking videos. I do have to admit though, the Outlander Droughtlander series is becoming harder and harder and harder to fulfill. Each week I want to sit down and talk about, like, my love of episodes, but I just don't know if that's something that you guys will enjoy. Do you want me to rehash over older episodes? I'm more than happy to start back from season 1, episode 1. Because let's face it, I am rewatching the second that it ends in my home. If once I've watched the entire series, I just go back to the start and I start again. So I would be more than happy. And look, it's easy to do, but I could go back to season 1, episode 1, and we can recap each and every single episode because we still have a fair way to go with our Droughtlander. And I, to be honest, am absolutely stumped on video ideas that you guys might actually enjoy, because I have noticed that the fans that watch my videos and the Outlander content on this channel, they are real hardcore fans. You guys out there in the wide world just know every single detail about Outlander. I love talking about it with you guys in the comments, and it just, the theories about different areas of the show and of the books, it just blows my mind that I haven't thought about some of the theories, and I thought I'd thought about every single theory there possibly was. For example, Jamie's ghost. No way. There are so many different theories out there that I just never even crossed my mind. Even though this video is short and sweet, please remember to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really does help the channel grow. I really also must apologize if the background audio on today's video is just absolutely shocking. The weather here in Geelong is just atrocious. There is a storm going on outside, and the rain that I can hear, like, just beltering on the walls and on the windows, is annoying me while I film. So if you guys can hear it, I'm so terribly sorry for the quality of this video, but I can't control the weather. I have been trying to film this video for 2 days, but the weather is just shocking, which is why this video is short and sweet and not my usual Outlander content. But again, I say, please remember to hit that subscribe button, and I will hopefully see you all next week for another Droughtlander video. Stay safe, guys. Bye.
Sing me a song of a lass that is gone.